Good morning everyone. First, I want to say thank you to a friend who lended me their account for this video because I don't have Jane on my own account, which explains the M1 Jane that I would showcase M0 Jane if I could, and I think you don't need M1 Jane for a kill on Butcher. Sure, you get a bit of damage with M1. The extra red dots from M1 is not that much of a game changer in her rotation, and the 15% anomaly buildup is just a small upgrade on top of Jane's core and double engine buildup buff. I'm sure with better stats, M0 Jane will do it just fine too, so don't worry about it. The rotation you see in this video will be very similar as with the Yanagi team. In the video, I've talked about Vivian's mechanic and her synergy as second anomaly in the team, so feel free to check the video. Both Jane and Vivian is a fast anomaly applicator, so using an aggressive back-to-back disorder would be best. Jane, being a fast anomaly applicator, does have a note that she is in a passion state. This state is also important to Jane for its attack buff. You might find the momentum of your fight is slowed down if Jane is not in passion state, and have to wait for the boss to attack so you can dodge it. But with some management on Jane movement, and with the help of Astra giving Jane attack to Jane, we can manage her passion state just fine. So we want to build anomaly fast with Jane. There's a lot of ways Jane can build physical anomaly. Her spin anomaly buildup is kinda slow, but the benefit of it is that the spin generates a bit of passion when we use it in passion state. While her EX inflicts a lot of anomaly, it also consumes a lot of passion. There's some give and take on that. You might want to save her EX to generate passion when her passion state is off too. And Jane's ultimate can build more than 75% anomaly meter, so her ult is best to build up anomaly fast. But what way we build the anomaly meter doesn't matter that much. Jane has no buffs that is tied to her specific skills, like for example, Yanagi EX is buffed by Chaos just for peace, so with her, we prefer to use her EX more for damage. But for Jane, her condition for damage is her passion state, Fanged Metal for peace, and her core passive Not state. And also keep in mind that all of these snapshots. We'll get into more detail on it in the rotation breakdown, but generally, if all of these condition checks out, Jane's assault damage will be good. Like with Yanagi team, we want to trigger assault onto corruption within less than 10 seconds between them. Try to get 4 disorder inside every stun, and maintain Astra and Astral voice stack with Astra precise assist to swap between Jane and Vivian. So to do that, Astra will be on high energy build with ERD6 and 2-piece swing jazz, while Vivian and Jane will be on AMD6 to get a higher rate of disorder in the fight. Let's get right into the rotation breakdown. Start with Astra and to Vivian generating feather, then precise assist to Jane. Basic attack while building her passion, go back to Vivian to get her buff by Astra 2, wait for Astra precise assist to go back to Jane. Using Jane's EX here might not be the most ideal choice. I think it's better to still using basic until she enters passion state, because by using her EX when Butcher has no anomaly, I'm wasting one of Vivian feather on no bloom. Assault is triggered, the disordered chain starts now. But let's talk about some important thing first here. Fanged Metal buff said that Jane damage percent will be buffed for the next 12 seconds after assault is triggered. So here we have some option. We can build the next physical anomaly on Jane for about 80 to 90% full, go to Vivian to trigger corruption, and then go to Jane trigger assault, then build back physical anomaly. This works because anomaly damage is snapshotted. So even if the assault is triggered after the 12-second Fanged Metal duration is expired, the damage will still be buffed, as long as the anomaly meter is built within that 12 seconds. Or, we can directly go to Vivian to trigger corruption, go back to Jane, and trigger assault before the 12 seconds of Fanged Metal runs out. This is a more aggressive way to do it, and I think it will be better for the team DPS. And Vivian and Jane both with AMD6 helps on achieving this. So let's see here. Assault is triggered at 2:43, so Fanged Metal buff will be expired at 2:31. We basic attack with Jane, waiting for the Butcher move, Jane spinning before the defensive assist with Vivian. It's actually better to spin as long as possible to build Jane patient back up, but I don't want to miss this defensive assist. Vivian trigger corruption with her follow-up, we wait for Astra precise assist to then swap back to Jane. It's 2:31. Because of the weight, we missed the assault within Fang metal duration, but physical anomaly meter is already built for about 75%. This is still fine. We can accelerate the anomaly buildup more throughout the fight. So after this, assault at 229, Vivian defensive assist and then EX, we precise assist back to Jane, and Vivian trigger corruption off field, Jane then trigger assault at 221, still buffed by the previous Fang metal buff, and try to do it like this for the next disorders and so on. Although this is kinda rough because Jane is not on passion state, her attack is not buffed by her passion buff when building half of this assault. But the best thing we can do here is build the next passion state. And that will be no problem as her ultimate will be ready soon. Here we immediately go to Vivian ultimate for corruption and notice that her Astra buff is almost off. We missed her precise assist for 2 times previously, and Vivian now has 0 astral voice tag. This is not great, so her next precise assist we can't afford to miss. After a corruption, precise assist back to Jane and immediately ultimate, making her enter the passion state back and getting her attack buff. Triggered assault with spin, we are about to enter the stun. This is the best place to use Astra's ultimate that's just ready. Although here it's better to precise assist to Vivian first and then to Astra ultimate, I swapped too soon, but at least Vivian buff is still refreshed by Astra. Vivian then trigger corruption by Chain, but you could also see that I ultimate with Astra too soon here, making the first disorder not triggered inside the stun. There's some timing that you need to fill here. Astra ultimate too soon will make the first disorder not enter the stun, but ultimate after Butcher stun might make the last disorder not fit the stun too. But let's at least try to still fit the 3 disorder here. To Jane Chain, cancel the chain, there's half of anomaly left that we need to build, don't use the EX yet, her spin is enough to build half. After assault is triggered, swap again to Vivian to her chain by Astra's ultimate, then to Jane Chain again, this time we use her EX and then spin. Luckily, we managed to fit this disorder and assault inside the stun. Now keep the disorder going. Precise assist to Vivian, EX for corruption, then precise assist to Jane again. Trigger assault, before 12-second Fang metal pass, go to Vivian for corruption, then to Jane again, triggering assault by ultimate. While doing that, still mind Astra's precise assist to swap between Jane and Vivian. Here, Vivian corruption by ultimate, wait for precise assist, Jane precise assist, and assault, Butcher run away, don't lose him, or we might miss our next disorder. Here Vivian is doing basic string, and when she is mid-air, instead of pressing basic, we press EX, so she can generate more feather while her plunge is still swap cancelable by Jane defensive assist. This is a good way to time her EX. Now we are about to enter the stun, so after Jane triggered this assault, precise assist to Vivian, then go to Astra ultimate. Like before, corruption by Vivian chain, first disorder, then to Jane chain. Now here, see that Jane decibels is above 2500. That means we can use her EX here and spin to trigger the assault. Second disorder, then to Vivian chain again for corruption, third disorder, to Jane chain, and then ultimate, fourth disorder, Jane spin, and then the Vivian ultimate. It's probably not possible to fit this ultimate for the fifth disorder inside the stun. Now this part is a major oopsie. See that Astra EX is ready, so I instinctively swap to Jane, thinking it will trigger precise assist, but I swap to Jane too fast before Vivian basic hits Butcher, making Jane miss the precise assist. I look at Jane buff, and it is basically offline now, so I kind of stunned here. Should I just commit to trigger the next assault, or try to swap back to Vivian to get Jane buff by the next precise assist? I choose the latter, but it doesn't work. Vivian eat the next precise assist instead. So here I am basically saying, ah well whatever, I'll just trigger it. And here Vivian triggered double corruption and Jane triggered assault while on buff. Those are some damage loss. This part is really rough. It is caused by me on confusion, thinking about what decision should I choose while in panic because I missed Astra's buff. I guess the best course of action there is to just keep going and hope Jane get her precise assist next. But it's okay, recover our mind from the panic and keep the disorder going. Vivian defensive assist, use her EX before we go to Jane defensive assist, Vivian trigger corruption off field, then Jane trigger assault. And now, this is actually a pretty confusing situation. Vivian has no energy, and we have less than 10 seconds to trigger corruption. Filling half of anomaly meter just by her basic will be very hard, and Astra ultimate is not ready yet. but looks like it's close. So here, we are taking the gamble. We need to generate as much disable for Astra here, with no assist point for more defensive assist. So here, dodge counter with Vivian, and then simultaneously dodge assist to Jane. Jane EX here, this should generate enough disables for Astra if her disables is more than 2900. And sure enough, we swap to her and we got her ultimate. Corruption by Vivian chain, then to Jane chain, and trigger assault by spinning. Her ultimate is ready, but her Astra buff has run out, and I'm not gonna make the same mistake again twice in this run. So before Astra EX is ready, switch to Vivian, trigger Corruption by EX, then Precise Assist to Jane, refreshing her buff, and ultimate inside the stun. Now this is important. We got less than 10 seconds and about 75% eternal meter to fill next. I doubt Vivian chain can fill all that up alone. So here I choose to cancel chain and then go to Vivian ultimate, then trigger the last disorder by chain spin. And that's the breakdown. You might see that the rotation in this run looks kind of rough, and I would agree to that. As I explained before, I don't have chain on my account, so I have to thank a friend for lending me their account in this video. There's a lot of comment asking for Jane Vivian video, and I did the best that I could to showcase them together, even though I actually never used Jane in Deadly Assault before. So what's my thought about Vivian with Jane? She's definitely buffed Jane a lot by her being a partner anomaly that can trigger corruption fast, so it complements Jane anomaly build-up too. And Vivian also has a decent personal damage source too through her Bloom and Prophecy. But this is also true for Yanagi, and basically other anomaly agents. If you ask me about my opinion on Jane, it's kind of rough. Let's just say that even if I have the polychrome for it, I wouldn't invest it on pulling for Jane just because of Vivian. And that's all. I hope this video helps you, and see you next time.